housings for your silicone mold making. Any of these are great because they're thin-walled and they have a lot of smaller sizes. You just cut the very bottom of that container off, you hot glue around the rim, and then you have a great housing for your silicone molds. Perfect sizes, every shape and size you can think of. Back over in the kitchenware section, I found something that I haven't seen before. These little Betty Crocker clear measuring cups with the little spouts. I am going to pick up some of these for mixing smaller amounts of silicone for making my silicone molds. I love the fact that the measurements are printed on the outside, so the inside of the measuring cup is nice and smooth, so you don't lose any of your silicone and mixing is thorough. The next important thing for silicone making is one of these cuticle remover pushers, cuticle trimmer tools in the beauty section. Very handy for trimming any excess materials off the edge of your silicone mold, as well as other handy tools. And the last thing we found is some treat bags. These are great for storing your molds in. It's great for having on hand. If you make molds, you can ship them out in these. So thanks so much for watching, everybody. I hope you found some interesting things you could
Booking.com. The family must depart. Stairs to Dorothy, indeed.
Find exactly what you're looking for. Booking.com? Booking.com?
Yeah.
Febreze. When you host, your bathroom can feel like a revolving door. It feels fresh with Febreze bathroom. It's an outlet-free air freshener that fights odors for 45 days. So even after every flush, you know your bathroom smells amazing.
I want to build a coffee table, and since I'm on a personal quest to make all my regular everyday objects we are, of course, making it way more complicated than it has to be. Why wouldn't I? Okay, here's what I've been thinking. Just imagine a full hardwood table with lots of ornamentation on the outside, maybe a row of books going around the whole thing, and of course, inside the table, full miniature wood. Can you imagine how freaking cool that would be? This time, I want to try to make this book look and feel more realistic than our usual miniatures, so we're going to approach things very differently. Instead of our usual suspect materials like foam, cardstock, paper, I want to try to use the actual material the thing was made of. Just made out of wood, or real wooden floors, or fabric to make like curtains and rugs and stuff. And this is definitely new territory for us. It's gonna be interesting. Will it look like a homemade school project or a professional table? I don't know. We'll see. I have already ordered all the hardwood materials I need to build this table, which is gonna be here in a couple of days. So we shall see. But in the meantime, let's start to work on the library. Okay, so I think a good place to start is by making one bookshelf, because then we can figure out design, tools, techniques.
Hey, Shadow. What game is this, Go Tug? This is Dune Awakening. Just killing some time.
And I'm sure it's going to get much more complicated as we go. And I'll put these patterns up for our patrons if you want to check them out. So now,
Trying to pick up some scrap. Get this little area finished, and then scan this. And we'll dice it up for scrap.
thank you. Okay.
Kind of wiggling here.
Move on to the fun stuff.
Alright, so this should be my
All this cool stuff.
So we're gonna need
Got this nice little orange
some granite to
top.
build a
Down
base.
here we have a cabinet door situation. Okay, shelf and a bunch of wood materials. So I have got
Alright. I don't know if we have a building tool yet.
so small. And I'm gonna try to use this to enhance
Let me
the
see.
engravings that I got here.
Sessions,
Then we start,
Creed.
like, adding
What's up?
some of this stuff after.
Yeah, sorry, there's like a big lag on this for some reason.
Dude, look at that before and after. That looks so good.
Crafting, I need a building tool. There we go.
Now just gonna get rid of that laser cut edge, give it a little angle.
Alright.
That's much better. So soft too.
Why don't I just automatically go to 2? I don't understand that. Foundation down. Well, that's the end of that.
Oh my god, I freaking love this scale! And the layering, it looks great.
Enough to do, I think,
I'm
enough.
this. But the cool thing now is because
Do a
this
small
is real
building.
wood, is we can stain it with real wood stain.
Whoops.
It's time to stain.
I brought the wrong thing up.
Just look at that brown. And now, a little layer of wax. There we go. Now this wax is just gonna
We got
soak in
22
for a couple
left.
of hours.
We need to
We're
get
just
more.
gonna dive in because we got a package. Let's see what we have here. Oh,
What are you guys up to?
some decorated trim. Oh. Aren't these festive?
Okay, good enough of that.
You can club someone to be in heaven. So that's all our detailing, and for our tabletop, we have this some nice hardwood beach, which means I have officially run out of rings.
Run out of granite to the walls.
Building this table that I've been dreading a little bit, but I'm just not gonna think about it. I'm just gonna do it. Yeah, this is kind of the point where my brain flows.
This is copper.
Download because I'm not download. Yeah, I did not enjoy this process. So I started off with just measuring and cutting a bunch
And
of
this
easy,
is
straight,
for
leaded.
clothing.
But then came the sidewalls. We're gonna have these corner pieces,
Scraps,
right? There's
metal,
gonna be sidewalls between them. And
copper.
my original idea was just to jigsaw cut exactly the pattern of those corner pieces into a sidewall.
I think we
No,
got
you know, you're gonna spend like a couple of days trying to get this pattern right and trying to get rid of all the little gaps.
Harkonnen ship up there. Keep an eye on that.
So after struggling with that for way too long, I ended up making this sort of funky router thing because my second idea was just to cut a 45-degree angle into that corner leg itself, which made me really nervous because I didn't have a spare for this part, so I kind of wanted to avoid it. But playing it out was so much faster. So
Sorry
much
for the
more
background noise. My wife's watching TV.
and my goodness, we should have just done that from the start. So we have the sidewalk, we got those corner pieces, and then for some reason we have a power outage. That never
I think she's actually watching Nerd Forge.
I drilled these holes into both the legs, tabletop, and those corner pieces because I'm gonna add a little dowel in between all three, glue that in place later, just add a bit more structural integrity. Because this thing's gonna be heavy. So far, so good. So that's where we're at. Good progress so far. Well, I've been working on this. Nancy has been working on setting up the tool. And it is the brand new CNC.
There's really no granite around here.
Brand new door to- Hello, how's it going?
Not a very good place to build.
Ah, yes, the perfect spot for a CNC.
Well, that's obvious.
We bought it used, so it has been a little bit of a setup. There was a guy that come here and we lifted it all in.
Yep.
Got everything like
Okay.
set up, and now we're here trying to make it work, basically.
Speed this up. Get some. There we go.
So far it's going good.
That's what we
So
do.
now I'm actually starting to see out the thing that's going on the side of the table, because you want to have like hooks on
Well,
it.
it's,
Yeah, yeah.
And that's
regardless of
what
you
we do,
doing it,
but we don't want
you always end up with like a
it's gonna be destroyed. So
A little bit of
Running a CNC for quite a few years. This was a
granite
great
still left.
opportunity to just, let's do it.
Nice excuse.
Of course, I've been trying to play more
Don't really look like it looks right now.
since I've moved over to a multi-platform,
It's looking promising though.
but
I like the size of them. I can't wait to see how it looks.
the arm has just gotten to the point where it's pretty tough to do it. I tried to switch over to gamepad and kind of helped a little bit, but still pretty rough. The more and more I think about it, I just want to retire. For as many, like right now, I'm looking at my viewership. There is 0, and there has been 0 on Twitch. And then there's been like a massive amount more on YouTube, which I find odd because it's always been the opposite way around. So I got to work on that. The mobile thing obviously makes the most difference. People like to 2. Alright, let's put a door up.
We are gonna need a bunch of decorations in this library, right? Like, we're gonna need a bunch of books, obviously, because library, but since I want this to have sort of a magical...
That's what I like about this game, is it actually has the ability to build stuff in the game.
I think I might have found a really good way of making tiny
Alright.
potions. So, we have 3D printed a bunch
Trying to
of
find the right
tiny little potions
tool
of
for
all
that.
sorts of shapes and sizes, and most importantly, with
Yeah, we
these sort of
know.
clear resin printed ones, they are hollowed out. So basically, this is just like a shell, a glass bottle that you can fill with any liquid. See where I'm going with this? So now,
This is it.
you can grab a couple of gloves. They always want gloves when you deal with the resin. Grab one of our potion bottles, the big hole at the bottom, and then I can grab my UV resin. And this is gonna be our liquid inside. And you know, if I want this to look like it's slightly
Totally like using the wrong thing, and then there's an F Alt to turn it.
Slightly cure that, just enough to make the surface sticky. So now the top is filled with air. And then
Oh man,
with a little bit of resin.
smells sloppiness in my fingers.
This is what begins because we can do different colors. Maybe
Take it
some
for granted,
stuff
and
that
then
makes
this happens.
maybe
It's
some
like,
glitter.
well, it kind of sucks.
There. Fill it all the way to the top. Cure again.
I don't know.
Got that little air gap at the top. Liquid on the inside.
As you know, I don't know.
That is to simply brush a layer of this UV resin on the outside, because then you get that nice gloss finish. You know, so it really looks
Interface.
like glass. A little bit.
Get it?
not much.
Interface.
Goop brush right here. Gently brush that on all the edges. The cool thing about this layer is just you actually see everything that's on the inside, because it's kind of like frosting when you don't do this. But now it's like you can see the swirls, you can see the details, all the imperfections, just like that check. And then we have our potion.
It's on the wall.
Just look at the variety of potions you can make with this.
Then I gotta build the infrastructure so that I can build the stuff that I need to build more stuff. Good. What's she doing? Oh my god. Too much coffee.
Yeah, you know what? I think I just need to stop there, because like I could be making this forever. You know.
She is watching Nerd Forge.
The ancient art of wizardry, studying lost knowledge, mastering spells, and most importantly, protecting your secrets. You wouldn't just make your spells and
Do
lie
do
around
do
for any
do
word
do
or tricks them to steal.
do
No.
do.
That's where your
What channel are you guys watching on, by the way?
protection, I don't have to worry about malware, trackers,
Dead Planet or
interrupting my studies.
Temple
And with
Mans?
access to over 5,000 servers worldwide, I can unlock any region of content anywhere.
Okay,
at any time, documenting
floor.
measurements that lets me securely
We're only gonna get one floor.
access even when I'm far away.
So hopefully,
So whether you're a digital sorcerer like me or just want to browse simply, NordVPN's keep your online presence protected. Check out nordvpn.com/nerdforge for an exclusive deal. 4 bonus months on all 2-year plans. And if it's not the magic you were looking for, then have a 30-day money-back guarantee. And back to the project. Okay, so we
multi-chat
have the
enabled.
looking good.
Good.
Currently working on all those customs,
What is
so
that?
we'll cover the finals here. We still obviously have some more work to do. Tabletop, adding to the thing, retailing, all that stuff. But for now, I think we should focus on the library. There's the library to do there too. Of course, our goal is to make this library just cluttered, detailed, make it feel alive with stuff. But the first step to actually getting there and making those details is to actually have a room. That way you put it in. Obviously. That one, we really only have the one bookcase. So I think the next step is just going to be...
Do you guys think my
get the walls up, get a floor in there,
camera box is too big?
have something to work from. Okay. Construction time.
Okay, I have one, do I? I don't. Remember me from the last time? Yeah, I do, Daryl. Yeah, sorry, we're having issues with the stream. Tried to push out doing Discord too as well, but it like crashed right in the middle of. As soon as I clicked on it, it just went in the toilet. Where's that? I thought I saw a container. Really bored? Just come ready to watch me try and solve the mysteries of Arrakis. Arrakis my balls. Are we? Oh, backpack is full. Oh, that's not good. It's going to take a while to get done with this.
Like wooden planks. It's just stirring sticks. So I'm gonna make the other half, glue that in place. But before we actually attach them like to the table, we have to route out all the paths for the electronics.
Alright, probably stored it here, I think, as storage, doesn't it?
But there's nothing else to do. Time to do it. Let's go.
Are you standing too close to it or something? What's the deal here? Pressing the button. No power up. Manage.
This is looking so freaking good. After more than a month's work of just being individual parts, it's actually starting to look like something.
Alright, is that what we got?
Just a process kind of project. Oh my goodness. Let me show you all the deals.
I don't know if I want to use all that, but it does cut down on a few things.
All those corner links, as well as these beautiful trim pieces. Love them. And also I've attached this border down here around the
So
whole
I hang
thing.
on to that for the moment.
Pretty happy with the joints on the corners here. That's pretty clean, if I might say so myself. And of course we have power cables coming through this way.
Incredible Mr. Fox. I wonder who that is.
Here, in the corner down there. And as well, we have routed some little channels that's going behind the bookshelf. And also to the middle of the floor here, where we're going to have a desk. The walls are in, we got the floor in. Yeah, I'm not, this doesn't have anything to do with the
What am I doing wrong here?
table, like, at all. But I'm just
Why?
showing you how this came out, because this part can just be lifted up and removed as I wish.
Search.
And
Oh,
for the only reason that we want to be able
Is that the
to
difference
get
between that? I don't know.
But it's pretty cool. Oh, and I just want to try
So
one.
we don't have.
Let's see here.
Weird.
Good
do that. Okay, manage. We're gonna do E instead. Because maybe it won't start unless I have.
Then Brad showed up with game rinse and beat.
That ceiling. It's rooftop, yeah.
They were set mates. Smells like it's gonna last. Makes Match more happy with game.
Dry, brittle hair? New Pantene damage repair formulas are infused with provitamins, argan, and jojoba oils to repair weaker hair bonds for stronger, healthier hair. Without the $90 price tag, it's intensive care for your hair. Pantene.
That went way too fast.
Lego sets. The gift that always clicks.
Alright, let's get a... No, it's not what I want.
Don't just see a place.
Shit.
Experience it.
Oops.
Master ramen with a chef.
I need to do that.
Underground jazz with a musician. Or see Notre Dame with someone who helped restore it. Introducing Airbnb experiences.
2. We need fabricators.
Music up, doors off, shades on. This is how summer rolls.
No, we need refineries. And then a generator.
Can lease the 2025 Jeep Wrangler 4xe for $179 a month, or get 1.9% financing for 72 months on Wrangler 4xe.
Utilities.
Jeep Ram dealer today.
Well, that really only leaves one big exterior thing to do, which is cutting out the tabletop, and then we're done with the outside. How about that? So yeah, let's just get that over with.
Alright, I think this will do it. Manage.
Okay, that's the tabletop. So now we can finally move on to the satisfying part.
That is the power generator, is it not? Their interface on this thing is kind of wacky.
Oh my god, this is starting to look so freaking good! And that agent Dorothy movie?
We're doing copper ingots.
Never mind the
That's
next
24.
year. It's just been racking up over the past 1.5 months.
Okay, we're moving.
Are we ready for assembly? Like, we have the tabletop, we have the pieces for the externals, we have the bookshelves, walls, floor, all that stuff. Oh,
We're gonna need a fabricator next.
honestly feel like it would never happen. So basically, what we're going to do is to wire up a bunch of LEDs. Of course, we're going to have lights in here. And also, of course, attach everything, put in all the
What's this?
then we have a table. So for the detailing, of course, we have some portions already, but also how does the painting a buttload of books
News.
that we're going to put in here. We've also had some help from Urbilla's miniature. And as you might know, she's helped us out before. She's really great at miniature painting, so we have some centerpieces that she's made. And then I cannot wait to put all these tiny little details together. Oh, freaking! Let's go sometime!
Let's see. What do we need to do first of all? What are we missing here? Does it require? Welding wire. This is the welding tool, I believe. Welding torch. What 3D printers do I have? I have this and switch over. Is it not working now? Huh. Man, I've had nothing but troubles with this thing. Is it just because see if I can do this manually. For some reason my
it's like 11 p.m. I'm so tired. I just want to go to sleep. So
from left to right, P1S, A1 Mini, A1, A1 Mini, and then on the opposite side, which you can't see, I've got an Ender 3 SV version 3 Pro something S Z WXY.
Okay, I can't wait to put the tabletop on and then turn the lights on.
So tabletop first.
Yes.
Yeah, no. Alright.
It
Let's
looks
get
so
back.
much better with the tabletop.
I'm gonna go back to the game. I wonder why this
Feels like the
Stream Deck is not working for some reason.
Tabletop, down. Now, the glass.
I'll do it in very glass. Oh, there we go. That's better.
Alright, so I got a welding torch, yes.
Is it nighttime?
It is light time.
Yes, do I want to finish this thing?
I can't believe it's been more than a half
I
month.
need some more.
And it all comes down to this. Just to build some drama. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, it's so cute.
I never get enough of lights in the realm. Like the amount it adds to the lost atmosphere.
So good.
I love that blue-yellow contrast.
I think this really is just a very good manifestation of the idea.
I think so. Yeah. Well, I think before we take a look at the final result.
Yeah, I think you remember you telling me that. Yeah, Elgus, I was thinking about those. I like their filament. Their filament's pretty decent.
Probably like 100.
Usually buy directly from them now.
This is the standard part.
Come on.
Nice.
I have my mouse clicked up so that I can click up stuff or pick up stuff.
I think this is the right thing. We got it in one piece. That actually looks really good. Okay, we got it like that. I actually just made a hole like in the road here so the people will stand here. Right, this is cool. And yeah, I'm gonna fix the table management later. Like that. I am
So, do you have a store or website that you sell stuff off of?
This is my
Or you
favorite
just
build
do
I've done ever. There's
swap meets and stuff? That's what I do.
so many little details in here, and we've had to experiment with new tools, techniques, materials. Like we've only really shown you a tiny fraction of all the different details we did for this. Because you know there's just losing time to film it all, and it's just been.
Sector weather alert.
So,
A large
thank you
sandstorm
so
is
much for
approaching.
watching this video. And also, of course, just a huge thank you to
Get
our
back
patrons
there.
for continuing to support us. You know, it makes it possible for us to actually spend the extra time to really
shit.
get into details and really just make crazy, weird builds like this.
I don't know what
And
you're
now,
doing right now.
I've been waiting for this moment for so long. Let's have a look at the final results.
Shit. Look at that storm that goes around.
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
Come on, get down. Oh my god. I don't think we have anything to drink, do we? Shit. I'll just wait for it to pass. I don't think I'll die in that amount of time. But a bummer. Yeah, I tried to buy a nozzle for
Extra absorbent.
tried to buy a nozzle for my P1S, and the thing was pain in the ass. If you don't buy something directly from him, they're just like, you know what, I'm just screw it. Right? Alright. Alright, what else do we need? We need to start building a... Damn it. Did it again. Alright, are we really out?
From childhood, I have not been of this world. I have not seen this on his soul. I could not bring a passionate common spring. And all I loved alone. With him, in my childhood, in the dawn of the moment,
Okay.
life was drawn from every day.
We still got left. 380. Okay.
From his youngest days, Edgar Poe saw women as angelic figures. His earliest memories were of his actress mother, Eliza, charming audiences.
She never came on stage, but a murmur ran through the house. What an enchanting creature. Heavens, what a form. What an animal expressive countenance. Never was anything half so sweet. Norfolk Herald, 1811.
Poe's father, David Poe Jr.,
What's going on here?
when Edgar was only a year old. Eliza struggled valiantly to support her three young children, performing dozens of roles
Right down there.
from Boston to Charleston. And then, while touring in Richmond, Virginia, she was struck down with a dreaded scourge of tuberculosis.
Couple more.
Everyone in Richmond knew of her career, knew of her sickness, and were very, very sympathetic, even though the society looked down on the profession of actress. She was very well thought of, and people sympathized.
Okay, we just need to fill that in.
Desperately poor, Eliza lay dying
Yeah,
in the swamp.
yeah, we'll be safe
Young Edgar watched
for the
her
moment.
sleep as she coughed up blood and sank into delirium.
On this night,
Mrs. Poe, lingering on the bed of disease and surrounded by her children, asks your assistance, and asks it for perhaps the last time. Richmond Enquirer, 1811.
That was tricky.
Edgar was not yet three.
For his entire life, Poe carried with him a small miniature of Elizabeth Poe, and I doubt that Poe had any actual tangible memory of his mother at all. But he had a kind of bone-deep memory of her presence, and he certainly had a bone-deep memory of the experience of being separated from her.
Stuff popping off all over the place. What the hell? What did I do this time?
Young Edgar was taken in by the Allen family. Mrs. Allen was very fond of Mrs. Poe, and she and John Allen had no children. So you can almost imagine Mrs. Allen
Get this roof going and winter or nighttime? Winter. What are you talking about?
Who was a tough, up-from-under successful Scotch merchant, raised young unadopted Edgar about as well as a child could be under the circumstances, with good schooling, a good
I think that's everything. I don't think I can slip through that hole.
And then an enormous gap existed between
Alright, let's see if I can build this sled.
polished, well-educated young fellow
Oh, wait a minute.
rough and ready tobacco
Oh, can I build that here?
Mrs. Allen showered Edgar with affection, guiding him into a confident young adult.
He was a very athletic young man. Sports he was very interested in. Of course, later on in life, he would downplay his sort of physical activities.
Welding wire.
Just as well. When he was a young man, naturally an athlete.
When he was 15, Poe swam 6 miles against the current in the James River.
Why does it let me do that?
Renowned throughout Richmond. Cheerful, vigorous, and brilliant.
Are we still grinding our way over here? Yeah.
Jane Stanner was a mother of a boyhood friend of his, and she seems to have been his adolescent first love. She died of brain cancer. She died when he was about 15. And he was absolutely broken up. He ended up crying. This was one of several times he would end up weeping at the grave of a woman he loved and who died at an early age.
No, can't build it yet. What do we need?
Still grieving for Jane Stanner.
What's the welding tool?
Her long illness was deepened the rift
Optional.
between him and John Allen.
His own wife was dying of tuberculosis, and while she was dying of
What are we
tuberculosis,
lacking?
John Allen was having numerous affairs in his own house. And maybe this was acceptable
Kinda
behavior
lost
for
here.
that time period, but poor young Edgar knew of this. It seemed like everybody knew about it. And Edgar believed that women should be treated with respect and courtesy.
Eager to conduct his affairs in peace.
If I use the welding torch,
John Allen sent Edgar off to the University of Virginia.
will it bring the parts out?
His second year of existence.
Oh, that's blood extractor. What did I do with that? I thought I had one. My inventory?
At the university, Poe's
Look at that.
dazzling imagination captivated his classmates.
It's a blood extractor. It's the cutter. Maker.
Fellow students would come and he would read to them from his stories and show them his artwork. And according to one reminiscence, it wasn't clear to the students at that
I'm good
time
at.
whether Poe was going to be a great writer or a great artist.
Alright, maybe it's not.
Poe soon found himself in desperate financial straits.
What John Allen owed just enough money to get there. Gave him no money for
It's basically
food,
the same
no
thing.
money for clothing, no money for the basic necessities.
Assembly
that a young
requirement.
man needed.
Mandatory. You gotta make the parts though.
Poe tried to make money gambling, soon found himself $2,000 in debt. He pleaded for help from his wealthy foster father, but Allen,
Maybe that's what's
already
going
deeply
on.
disowned,
6.
refused to cover the debts. The proud young poet was reduced to smashing the furniture in his room and burning it to keep warm. He left the University of Virginia with
Symbol.
debtors pursuing him. And debtors' prisons didn't exist in those days.
Craft vehicle modules with fabricator.
He ran away and
Craft
joined the
vehicle
army
modules
under
with
his name because
fabricator
he wasn't ready to
owners.
end up in a cold stone cell somewhere over the debts that John Allen wouldn't cover.
Why do I feel like I'm not?
Richmond and the United States were too narrow a sphere, and the world shut me my theater. If you determined to abandon me,
Why aren't
here I take
you?
my farewell. Neglected, I would be doubly ambitious.
Do I have to be out of that? I guess I do.
You have thought unworthy of your notice. 1828. That was the end of any
Plant
relationship
fiber,
between John Allen. After that, he
microfiber,
was on his own. He was young, he was
ingots,
ingenious, he was broke, and
bike parts. Okay, I think I know what's going on here. Yeah. Craft weapons.
Poe fled to Boston, the hometown of his natural parents, and enlisted in the Army under the name of Edgar A. Perry. He excelled as a soldier, rising swiftly to the highest enlisted rank, and later briefly attending West Point. But military
I guess we're like
life
limited
always
this
saved him on the path to his most treasured
research
goal.
on these weapons. You do, but you need iron. Now that's like, that's way ahead of me.
Worship of all beauty can make me one.
Huh.
I would give the world to embody one half the ideas afloat in my imagination.
I need to find someone to play with. That's what I need.
1828. By age 20, he had used his own meager funds to publish 2 books of poetry.
Let's see what we got that we need to
Unfortunately, life kept
skills.
providing inspiration for his work. Early in 1829, Francis Allen succumbed to the ravages of tuberculosis. Her death affected him terribly. It was the third older woman whom he had loved, it's even safe to say worship, who died, and the second one to die of tuberculosis. And of course, the great irony was that this was not the last time it was going to happen in his life. Orphaned by 2 mothers, rejected by 2 fathers, Poe searched mightily for a safe haven. In 1831, he moved into the Baltimore house of his Aunt Maria Clem and her 8-year-old daughter Virginia.
What do I have left?
Here, finally, was the loving and supportive home he had so long been denied.
Next level.
The concept of family was incredibly important to Poe. Half his life was spent
Not
searching
going
for
to
that
work.
ideal
And
family,
3 skill
which
points
I
left.
think he found in his life with Virginia and her mother, Maria Clem.
Supporting himself as a writer had been all but
Not sure
impossible.
what to do.
Now, Poe was burdened with providing for his new family.
There were no copyright laws to speak of, and if you were desperate and you were starving,
Don't have that
and the
ability
publishers
there.
knew this, they would set the terms. He had a hard time selling The Telltale Heart because the publishers thought it was too loud. They wanted more quiet stories. So he was at the mercy of the publishers.
Amid his struggles to survive as a writer in 1834, Poe was summoned to the deathbed of John Allen.
I wonder how long this thing's going to roll. Or is it rolling?
John Allen would
That's your oil refinery.
and waited and threatened from his deathbed the foster son, whom he considered so ungrateful.
John Allen left Poe out of his will. He left a lot of money to illegitimate children, but absolutely nothing to Poe.
Determined to pursue his literary
We had more than
ideals,
that, I thought.
Poe would spend the rest of his days battling poverty and often losing. In 1835, he temporarily
see.
left the Clem home to assume the position of editor at the newly created
What do we got for? A few more crafts, some more darts.
Unfortunately, he was headstrong, he was sometimes arrogant, and almost always ended up in conflict with his bosses.
When he criticized someone, he was ruthless.
Alright.
He was brutal. He had the nickname of the Tomahawk Man, or the Comanche in literature, because of his brutal slashing reviews.
This book is a public imposition. It should have been printed among the quack advertisements in a spare corner of the newspaper. Book review, 1836.
He was always one to get into literary skirmishes. He had started that pattern early by accusing Henry
Towards
West
that.
Longfellow of being a plagiarist. That made almost everybody in America mad at him. He was a very combative personality, and I've always felt that Poe's own battles in the literary world were rooted in that early antagonistic relationship with John Allen and his need to prove himself and his need to exact some kind of revenge.
Shortly after moving to Richmond, Poe faced a devastating crisis. Maria Clem wrote him of plans to have his cousin Virginia, then 12 years old, live with another relative.
At this point, Poe had his first terrible drinking episode. He crashed into a hard depression, well into the then he lost his job, and he realized he could not lose Virginia.
He wrote a hysterical letter to Muddy, pleading with her not to let her do this, pleading with Virginia not to do this. It's a very emotional letter, almost paranoid in its intensity.
Kill some people.
I blinded with tears while writing this letter. My last not only hold on life is truly torn away. I have no desire to live and will not. I love you. You know I love Virginia passionately, devotedly. Letter to Maria Clem, 1835. In that letter, Poe appended a revealing postscript to Virginia, in which he assigned her a variety of
19.
female roles. My sweet sissy, my darling little wifey, think well before you break the heart of your cousin Eddie.
To what extent he was troubled by the fact that he married his first cousin, I don't know. But it certainly is curious that in circumstances like this, he apparently thought of his cousin and sister and wifey all at once.
The next month, Paul and Virginia were married. He was 26, she not yet 13. He was always scared that the marriage document was falsified, leaving her age was 21. While the intimate details of their relationship remains a mystery, they were clearly a devoted and loving couple.
When you were with the Poe family, you couldn't see a happier couple. They were always playing games. There's one story when Poe was living in New York where they were playing hop frog across each other's backs, and Poe split his pants because he jumped too high and he squatted too fast. Poe was so embarrassed that his face got red, and Virginia couldn't stop giggling because Eddie had split his britches. Many people can't imagine Poe playing in the garden, playing with animals, teaching Virginia how to play the flute, teaching her algebra. He was a very devoted, very loving, and caring husband.
But the private Poe was very different from the public Poe. His life as a writer and critic was an unending series of bitter quarrels and financial humiliations.
Oh yeah.
Poe's life was a constant struggle to make ends meet. Many times his mother-in-law begged for him. She would go out and try to solicit either work
A lot of walking
or
around,
loans
kind of getting
money
tired of it.
for the family.
Poe was often his own worst enemy, sabotaging his efforts as they verged on success. In 1842, he secured a meeting with U.S. President John Tyler to request a government job.
He showed
showed up for the appointment quite intoxicated. He was wearing his cloak inside out. He was disheveled. And fortunately for Poe, the president's son, Robert Tyler, intercepted him first and said, "Why don't you come back in a few days?" When Poe showed up for the second meeting, he was quite sober and conducted himself very well at first. But then, through some bizarre quirk, he decided to use the opportunity in this meeting not just to secure the president's help in getting a position in the Custom House, but to solicit magazine subscriptions from him.
He was driven to sink his own ship, as if that early experience of being abandoned himself created a kind of chronic pattern of needing to do himself in some strange, perverse way. Through his many trials, Poe persevered, using his imagination as a defense against the ruthless world. Peaceful statements that belong to pen and paper, creating works that reveal morbid fears and unspeakable longings of Edgar Allan Poe.
Not happening on me.
Edgar Allan Poe, who knew intimately the tortures of madness, could create such ever-increasing suspense. Beneath their sensationalism, Hollywood depictions of Poe do contain a central truth. The themes of his stories are firmly rooted in the grim realities of his life. Besieged by premature deaths of those he loved, he yearned for a connection with the afterlife.
Death are at best shadowy and vague. Who shall say where the one ends and where the other begins? The Premature Burial, 1844.
Poe is a seeker of forbidden knowledge. Underlying all of these kinds of forbidden knowledge is the one knowledge that is forbidden to everyone. To die and to be able to come back with word about what dying is like, what exists, if anything does, on the other side of death.
It is evident that we are hurrying onwards to some exciting knowledge, some never to be
If the mind and if life is all this richness built up, if it is all the all these things comprehended in a memory, that makes life up like a key. And that's because of knowing all the stories about death.
God.
Death can't be this way.
Again.
It can't be annihilation. It can't be oblivion. Poe grappled with the mystery of death and the capriciousness of life. He lived in a time when it was terribly, terribly difficult to make any kind of living with credit work. He lived with the illness and death and misfortune of himself, his relatives, friends. You name it, there was almost
Are you
no capacity
guys
to life.
excited?
Poe, like his characters, was forever caught
Want me to keep
in a
playing or
struggle
no?
between rationality and irrationality,
Thinking
order
about it.
and chaos.
Doing dinner.
Logic was very important to Poe. He created a detective story because of his need
3:33,
for
make a
order and
wish.
logic in his life. Some people have said he may have created the detective story in order that he not go mad.
What is that?
Maybe we should go through it.
Oh, wow.
Are you gonna tell me what's going on?
We'll see what I can do since I knocked two of them. There's two left.
This one's for me. Well, I miss
I
you.
can get in there and pick up some stuff.
What if I hurt you?
You are capable of being happy. You just have to choose it.
Chevy Trucks. More dependability awards for trucks than any other brand. And Chevrolet.
Modern love.
Oh shit.
But these
detective story and a direct forerunner to Sherlock Holmes. His French detective Auguste Dupin uses analytical reasoning to investigate a series of hideous slashing murders. The final solution defies all logic. The murders have been committed by a razor-wielding orangutan. In the telltale heart, the narrator loudly proclaims his sanity and then calmly tells us how he murdered and chopped up an old man.
What? Sorry, what?
Dreadfully nervous I had been and am. But why do you say I'm mad? Hearken and observe how healthily, how calmly I can tell a little story. The Telltale Heart, 1843. Like many of Poe's characters, this narrator is driven by guilt, confessing his crime.
Poe's thinking was strikingly modern, almost 20th century, in the way he expressed psychological introspection. In many of his stories, a tortured narrator would delve into deep wells of guilt, and through exploring that guilt, I think Poe approached something very close to modern psychoanalysis.
Perhaps no story struck closer to Poe's soul than the
We got
master.
nothing.
No pestilence had ever been so fatal or so hideous. Blood was its avatar and its seal, the redness, the horror of it.
Like for some water.
The Master of the Red Death, 1852.
Consumption, which now is known as tuberculosis,
That's a ways
was
away.
responsible for the death of so many people that Poe loved. And that illness involved the coughing up of a great amount of blood. And I think that identification was
get to it
impressed
now.
on Poe's
Get
brain
to
at
the
a very
chopper.
young age. And to him, consumption was, I think, the Red Death.
And now was acknowledged the presence of the Red Death. He had come like a thief in the night, and one by one dropped the rebels
Hello.
and died each in the despairing posture of his fall. And darkness and decay and the Red Death held the illimitable dominion over all. When Poe wrote The Mask of the Red Death, he had already lost his mother, his stepmother, and brother to tuberculosis. Only in his worst nightmare could he have imagined where the dread disease would strike next. Over the years, Poe and his beloved wife Virginia grew ever closer. Her companionship sheltered him from the storms of literary life.
Poe, Virginia interacted together, sitting at the piano, playing, laughing. Virginia would go outside the cottage and pick flowers and skip rope. They would take walks together in the garden, talking and singing, and come back in and fix dinner together, always together.
Poe was delighted in her soprano voice and often asked her to sing the poem. One fateful night in 1842, he and Maria Clem watched her perform.
As she was singing,
Sliver was
there was
hidden.
a slight cough, and then there was a drop of blood that appeared on her lips. And Poe realized that, like his mother, like his stepmother, like his brother Henry, that Virginia had consumption, tuberculosis. He knew what that meant. That was a death sentence.
It was the beginning of a very long, quite horrible struggle, and probably only her youthful energy kept her alive as long
May your
as
blade
she managed to fight
chip
alone
and
for
shatter.
5 years. And those were 5 years of Belfry to Africa.
Poe tried very hard to make his wife comfortable. He would have to physically carry Virginia sometimes from the bed to the table when she wanted to go to the table to eat, and sometimes he would bring her food.
In the midst of his private hell, Poe achieved his greatest public fame. In January 1845, his poem The Raven
Alright, you guys. I'm gonna go eat dinner. And then I'll see you guys on the flip side.
It was an overnight sensation, and his nickname became the Raven. It was the talk of the town.
Sure.
It was sensational. It was scary. It was horrifying. People were having nightmares. They were having dreams of a raven coming through their windows at night. Children would follow him.
It's always something. I think that's some of my USB is kind of lacking for some reason. Alright. You guys have a good night. If I don't see you later.
So he loved it. He loved the fame that it brought to him, but it didn't bring him any fortune.